In the winter of 1983, I was 18 years old and working part-time in high school, my senior year, at Best Products, which was a local catalog showroom that sold housewares, electronics, sporting goods, and most significantly, in the month of December, toys. Earlier that year, the phenomenon known as Cabbage Patch Kids erupted across the land. And young children were clamoring for the hottest Christmas gift known to mankind. And I, my dear sisters and brothers, I was the Cabbage Patch Kid whisperer. Working in the warehouse of Best Products put me in close proximity to those little rag dolls that were the object of every child's desire. I knew when the shipments were coming in. I knew when they would be released to the public. I knew where the extra boxes were stored, even when the salesperson told you, sorry, sold out. And for a price, I might just be able to hook you up. Oh yeah, before too long I was the Cabbage Patch Kid broker out of the trunk of my '78 Buick Regal. You need 2 boys and a girl? I might be able to do something about that. Come see me. Suddenly, my mother's friends and their friends were now my best friends. This was, thanks be to God, before cell phones. You see, every child hoped for a Cabbage Patch Kid, but every parent needed a Cabbage Patch Kid. And sisters and brothers, I'm here to tell you that I was there to satisfy every hope and every need. But if Cabbage Patch Kids and Advent have taught us anything, is that there's a difference between hope and need. St. Paul tells us on this second Sunday of Advent, whatever was written previously was written for our instruction, that by endurance and by the encouragement of the Scriptures, we might have hope. We might have hope. And so on this second Sunday, what is our Advent hope? Are we hoping for something? Like a child waiting for a Christmas present? Instead of hoping for, perhaps we should seek what we need, to hope in something, in someone who has come, is coming, and will come again. And that's why the church gives us the gift of these Advent days. And that's where I invite us to place our hearts today. Hope in, not hope for. Again, there's a difference. The arrival of John the Baptist on the scene helps us in the hoping in. The Baptist appears every year on the second and the third Sundays of Advent. He's like an old friend who comes in from the desert. To be honest, he's more like a crazy uncle who shows up for Christmas. But that's okay. You can't escape him, but we love him nonetheless. In Matthew's gospel we heard today, he's particularly colorful, dressed in camel hair with a leather belt, eating grasshoppers and honey. And his reaction to the Pharisees, the Sadducees, those leading religious and social figures of the time, it's one of extremes. He gets quite angry. He flies off the handle, you could say. I love it when he shouts and calls them, "You brood of vipers." I wish I had thought to say that when people were clamoring for Cabbage Patch Kids. Some of them made even the vipers look tame. But does that reaction of John provoke a reaction in us? Or are we mere spectators to this scene, to this season? Does it shake us to our core? Does it rattle us, surprise us, just as surely as it rattled and surprised those who heard it long ago? It should. It really should. And if not, why not? Does it stir our hearts, call us to attention, to repentance? Or do we just passively let it wash over us? Because that's the very reason John was sent. It's exactly the message that he was making to the Pharisees and to the Sadducees, and that he still makes to us today. They were simply coming forward for a baptism by him, by John, because everybody else was doing it. They didn't feel a great need for it. They certainly didn't think it was necessary for them. They had no intention of changing their ways, repenting for their sins. They were just going with the flow. They were hoping, yeah, sure, maybe I'll get a little grace on the side out of it. But they didn't hope in the one who it was all about. And that should be our wake-up call for ourselves in this day and age. The work of Advent must lead us to hope in something greater than ourselves, something more than the world promises, more than you can buy at the catalog showroom. We must not simply go through the motions, be content to toss a few bucks to the poor while singing Silent Night, O Holy Night. This is a season of expectation and waiting, yes, but John's call to us is that it is to be a hopeful expectation and an active waiting, not passive. Our hearts must actively turn away from sin, from mere ritual and hoping hoping works out, and become rather hearts that hope and act in peace, in mercy, in forgiveness. So again, ask yourself, what do you hope in this Advent? Distinguish between what you need, what you want. Turn to the one who is coming, to the one whom John the Baptist prepared the way, the Christ. For he is the true master, the one who can deliver more than our wants and even more than our needs, because he offers us the one thing that our hearts truly desire, a love that will save us.